This week on London Real, we have American financial analyst Peter Schiff. This guy's very big. He's a regular on Fox News, on CNN, on Jon Stewart's The Daily Show. And alongside him, I had Alessio Rastani, the Robin Hood of Wall Street, who's been our guest before. He was the one that told us that Goldman Sachs rules the world. And they're both talking about a market crash next year in 2014. And I spoke to Alessio, and he has decided to offer a free trading webinar for London Realers or anyone else who wants to get involved. It's going to be on Thursday, December 5th at 8 o'clock GMT. He's going to teach you how to recognize when there's going to be a market crash, how to protect your own investments, and even profit from such a crisis. And you know, I think you need to educate yourself about all things in life, you know, whether it's martial arts or psychedelics, and I think finance is the same. And there's a lot of tricks that a lot of people on Wall Street play. I used to work in the City of London, and if you're just better educated about what's going on, you can not only avoid those tricks, but also participate yourself, protect your assets, and potentially profit. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You know, we all make choices with our money when we buy things every day, and if you choose to avoid buying something that's going to hurt you and buy something that's going to help you, then that's just investing, and that's just intelligent. So please join me. It's going to be a live webinar. Like I said, it's free. I'll be there. It's going to be 8 o'clock December 5th. You can go to leadingtrader.com/2014 or click on the link below, enter your email address. It's a great internet technology. Alessio is fantastic. I'll be there for a bit of a chat before him, and then I'll let him rip with technical trading and let him give you all the secrets of trading. So please check that out. Educate yourself about these markets. They're not as complex as you think they are, and look forward to seeing you on December 5th. I watched your TED Talk. It came out recently. You were asked about TED Talk. How was that whole experience? Were you nervous? Did you know what to talk about it?
Fuck, it was nerve-wracking, yeah.
Was it?
Well, yeah, I mean,
you get one shot, right?
Yeah, you only get one shot, and I haven't cured any diseases or redesigned any cities, so there's no real reason for me to be there, other than that I can sort of, I mean, I was keen to talk about this technology I had. I mean, now looking back at it, I think it was premature that I was demonstrating this technology and trying to shout about it as if it was interesting. Because like everyone in there was a .com billionaire or millionaire. Like, you know, it's kind of this Silicon Valley, you know, haven where if you're like, hey, got $1 million, got 7,000 US dollars, I think it is, for a ticket.
Wow.
What? Yeah, that's what you don't see on the videos, is that everyone in that room,
and they don't pay. Do they pay you to perform?
Rich,
beyond rich. Do they pay you to perform?
No.
And yours was a TED, proper TED. So
they meet your costs, okay, but you don't get any guest list because they have like £7,500 dollars per ticket. So why would they? Like that's how.
And the people that go and watch, do they then get to speak to the people that showed afterwards and be like, I want to invest?
Oh, you're encouraged to. Yeah. So in that sense, it's kind of priceless. Like.
So you got a great audience for what you do. Yeah, you don't need to be paid on top of that audience. You can't put a price on that audience.
Exactly. I mean, and then you get to hang out with all these millionaires, but they're not arseholes. They're all very. I mean, there's a bit of kind of one-upmanship that goes on, obviously, but no one's comparing Rolexes. They're more comparing like VC funding,
IPOs.
Yeah, like it's more that like you know who's who. Well, like Matt Groening was there, like. And he created what we now know as comedy, I guess. I don't know, like I was so starstruck by so many people. That like Amanda Palmer was there, and she's kind of a heroine of sorts. And then there's like, yeah, I mean, Matt Groening, well, the guy that invented, I mean, you know, every website that you use, like Larry Page and Sergey Brin were both there. I was like, oh, someone's wearing Google Glass. It's Sergey Brin. Fuck. Yeah. Like, you know, there's just sitting there, just sort of tapping away, like. Who else? Yeah, just loads of people.
Is it cultish? I mean, there's been some.
It is a bit cultish.
There's been the TED fellows like Eddie Huang, who's on the Rogan Experience, and a few.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that have said that, you know,
I felt his pain. I felt his pain.
Did you have to do a bunch of stuff like that?
Well, they came down hard on me about guest lists and stuff. Like I was trying to get my wife into stuff, and we like. What? Yeah, they would. This is the thing. Like, I'm like, it's my wife. Like. This is virtually me. It's like a whole other half of, please let her in. They went, no.
So they're very strict about like formats, what you have to attend and all that stuff. But I guess that's what makes it
great.
Well,
if you're a TED fellow, like...
that's different.
Like, is it Eddie Huang?
Yeah, Eddie was a TED fellow.
He was he was a TED fellow. If you're a TED fellow, then they've deemed you interesting enough to have your presence be required, and they require your presence. So this is what he was talking about.
Yeah.
I wasn't actually aware of exactly how strict they were on the TED Fellows until I saw that, which is it was.
Do you know this whole story?
No.
So he was a TED Fellow, which means they put you as, I guess, you know.
Is he the Vice guy?
No, this is the. He did a few things on Vice. Okay. He does a cooking thing.
Yeah.
He's like
that's
a Chinese American or Korean? Yeah. Chinese American. I'm gonna get in trouble for that. But he had to be there for like a certain. I think he had to be there for 5 days straight. He couldn't leave like the area. And
how did he get that? Authority, that right? Or
well, they offered him up the TED Fellow. He accepted
what
it.
makes him interesting? What's he?
All the stuff is what is he? I don't know what he did.
Stuff, or there's something before the
He's like the younger Anthony Bourdain. He's like a
oh, okay. So it's
rock and roll chef.
Yeah, okay.
He's got like a whole different view on immigration, on growing up, you know, in America, mixed race, or all this stuff. And he does these shows. He's a chef. He wrote a book, and they liked him. So like, you be a fellow. And I think when he got there, he didn't realize all the commitments, and he left to go do the Rogan show. And they were like, "You can't leave." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" So he was like, "Fuck you guys." Yeah.
Great.
So, anyways, so TED has that kind of weird.
It's slightly cultish. I mean, like, it's interesting what TED are doing, because they're doing a very progressively agendaed effort to disseminate useful and innovative ideas to try and make the world fairer, better, more efficient, more progressive, and perhaps more liberal and forward-thinking. So you can't really fault them for what they're doing. But obviously, their kind of take no prisoners attitude to the sort of minutiae of things will wind some people up. But I mean, there was one bit of controversy that I did find a little bit weird, which was that they had, for the TEDx things, obviously they have to be slightly prescriptive about what they will and won't allow in a TEDx talk, because they can't control every single aspect without...
They banned Graham Hancock's and...
Yeah, we've had Graham Hancock here.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And also they have a thing...
And
you can't talk about food as medicine.
This week on London Real, I have a one-to-one chat with Wietse van der Werf, the founder of Blackfish.
The scale of what we're destroying in the oceans, which essentially is the largest biodiversity we have on this planet, which is really the life support system we have. The level of destruction is just astronomical, and we're not seeing it, it's not visible. We're talking corporations that are breaking the law, destroying the environment, destroying what essentially allows us to live on this planet, the ocean. A strong movement of citizens that say we've had enough of this stuff, like we just don't stand for it.
Do you ever think your life's in danger by what you're doing?
I mean, we have to be careful. You know, we're dealing with big interests. When a species is this endangered, do we need more lobbying? Do we need more talking? A fully trained drone pilot sits on shore, is literally steering it, and you're getting a live stream.
And who makes that call to go in and cut the nets? I mean, is that your call?
That is, I guess, the Blackfish's call.
On Sunday, London Real presents Wietse van der Werf, Blackfish.
If we see something that is totally, it's clear that it's illegal, then we're willing to take that extra step.